So the road ahead, as scary as it can be, you know, when the change happens, you know, they say that's the time to jump is when it's scariest, right? So I'm done with LA. It's time to jump. I'm terrified. It's scary, but, you know, I'll land on my feet.
Yeah. Yeah. And the pandemic too, like you talk about the, you know, that whole thing stopping. But I mean, we met before that because you were wanting to do more of this stuff, like more of, you know, training people. You wanted to do that.
Right.
That was in your heart. Yeah.
And you wanted to do CrossFit.
Well, I wanted to do TACFIT, but how do we do it, you know?
Right.
And then thankfully I finally went to the TACFIT cert. I wanted to, you know, because I thought we were going to do a CrossFit gym because people know what CrossFit is, you know, and then teach TACFIT.
Right.
And I was even thinking that after the TACFIT cert, and then I talked to Nikolai, Scott's, you know, longtime partner, and then we stayed up like pretty much all night. And I was like, you know what, man? I remember jiu-jitsu. When I first started jiu-jitsu, nobody knew what jiu-jitsu was. They knew what karate and taekwondo were.
Sure.
And I could call it a martial arts school or whatever, but I was like, no, I'm going to represent Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. So I called it Brazilian Jiu Jitsu Academy. I went all in, you know?
Right.
And so then when I was like, okay, what am I going to do with TACFIT? Do I call it? That basically says I don't believe in TACFIT.
Right. Yep. You got to give your credit.
Yeah. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to call it, I'm going to make it TACFIT Gym. And that's where that sign went up. I was like, I'm going to go all in. I believe in this. I didn't know how it worked, but I know it worked. Right. I knew everything Scott said to me, and I did, worked. Yep. And here we are 7 years later, not just with myself, right, giving me from, I had my MS diagnosis and not being able to walk and just being all disconnected, to giving everything back to Professor Alexandre, him getting heart surgery.
That's a crazy story,
and not being able to lift his hand up and not do anything, to doing everything, surfing, training jiu-jitsu again.
That's nuts, man. Like,
you know, badass black belt.
Story. Yeah, it's a crazy story.
I mean, how many stories do we have?
Like, it goes on and on and on, man. You know, it goes on and on and on of people healing themselves through this work. And it's the right thing to do. And, you know, I want to continue on helping more people. It's just where I'm at. It's what gives me fulfillment in life. Yeah, is when people say.
And you knew that before. You knew that when you reached out to me back whenever it was 7 years ago.
I knew something was pushing me in a different direction, and subconsciously, the stars, whatever you want to call it, you know, pushed me over here, you know, and this is where we're at now. 7 years later of teaching, I think over 4,000 classes at least. I mean, I don't know how many people. Hundreds, if not thousands, of people have come in and out of the doors.
Done certifications in Mexico, and
flew to Mexico.
We're supposed to go to China, right?
We're supposed to go everywhere, man. 2020, we were going everywhere. It would have been great. Thailand, everywhere, man. Brazil, Greece, but now.
Yeah, we were planning. There was we're getting the schedule, you know, ready.
I saw the schedule. I was like, oh, this is going to be incredible. And then now that's shut down.
We still have that ticket to Taiwan.
Oh, do we?
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to honor that or
not.
No,
they gave the credit, you know. I don't know how that's going to work, though, because it has to be under our names, and unless we have a reason to go. I don't know.
It's already
Figure
it out.
Yeah.
It's already been like, what, 4 years? 3 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, that hurt. Would have been nice to see the world, but, you know, it is what it is.
Like, we still do it, you know.
Yeah. Someday.
Show people how to teach those group classes.
Yeah. You got to
You still got to make that trip to Brazil, right?
Yep. Still got to get to Brazil.
Alexandre wants to open up that TACFIT gym with you in Belo Horizonte.
Let's do it. Let's get this one in St. Louis, and then I'll go down to Brazil, man. I got no problems with that. You know, I like Brazil.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.